Hello and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, folks. This is Porsche Cup Challenge. My name is Michael McLeod, and I'll be your broadcaster for this race. Once again, we are here, of course, at Road America. Super excited. We have 33 cars on the grid, so a lot of cars. We're expecting a lot of action. Really amazing track for this car. Lots of open road, lots of passing. It's just absolutely going to be an exciting race for all of you. We have a lot of skill. Igor Ko is coming back for another run at the Porsche Cup Challenge. He hasn't had too much luck today in his public official races, so I try out the Porsche Cup Challenge and see how that goes. Really excited to see how that goes, really. He's currently on pole position, so I'm not going to lie, I'm expecting him to start running away with the sprint race. Really curious to see how the reverse grid top 8 goes. That's always a challenge for all of our drivers, front to back, really. Outside of that, I'm going to just quickly bring up a little bit of a recap of our season. Here is our season standings as our qualifying is going on right now. Philip the Hammer's in the lead of our Pro Division points. Samuel Spruill, who's away on vacation in New Zealand right now, unfortunately for him, he is in second. Benjamin Pape, Thorsten Seifert, Frank Smits, Danny Hugendorn, and Bruno Heinrich. So these are our top drivers. So look for their names in qualifying and follow along with the timing tower to see how they place throughout this race. As we move on to our amateur division, here we are right there. Misha Berger is in first place for the amateur division right now. Lee Holmes, Ryan Winfeld, Alexander Wilford, Alexander Redhead, Glenn Humberstone, Jason Lyons. It's very tight, actually. All the way down to about P7. So follow along with all of these drivers and you'll see them in white. So take a look at where they're at on the timing tower as the race is going on, and yeah, pick a driver, follow along, and give a shout out in the chat if you're watching it live. I'm gonna now pull away those season standings so we can take a look at where is everyone qualifying right about now. We have 1 minute and 15 seconds left in our qualifying. And I think most of our drivers are complete on their qualifying. Yuri Steinmetz going for another lap. He's got one more left in the tank. At that amount of time, I don't think that he's going to have the space to get to the end of this lap with 1 minute left. And it's a 2 minute 9 second lap. Yeah, I'm really doubtful on that one, to be honest. Here is the... Oh, and he's going into the pits. I'm not sure what's happening there, but we don't do pit stops here, so don't need to practice your pit stops. Anyways, here is Yuri Steinmetz going around the carousel. This is actually just turn 10, turn 9, turn 10, and that is the broadcaster curse live and ready. Locked and loaded. There you go. But on with where is Yuri Steinmetz on the track right now. This is called the Kettle Bottoms. This is essentially the back straight heading towards Canada corner. This is a heavy braking zone. It's either second or third gear corner. Very easy to lose the rear end as you exit out Canada corner. Thunder Valley and Bill Mitchell Bend is turn 13, which is right about there. And then on to the 14th corner, and then the exit onto that start finish straight. Okay, so great. Now let's take a look at our grid. We have... There is our grid. We've got Igor Koz on pole position, Philip Hammer, Philip Straffarelli, Misha Berger, Yuri Steinmetz, Ryan Winfeld, Danny Hugendorn, Bruno Heinrich, who Bruno I think is going to have to serve that drive-through penalty. We're going to take a look at that shortly. Then we got Alejandro Tosi, Thorsten Seifert, Young Choi, Ben Pedersen. Oh man. Oh, Lee Holmes, Alexander Wilford, Frank Smits, Benjamin Pape, and there's a lot of time for me to go through these drivers. Gordon Ramsay, Grant Gregory, Franks, Stefan Heineken, brand new to the league, welcome. Emil Koopmans, Gurkan Demir, Jason Lyons, Bjorn Ritter, Mark Oliver, Mark De Bruin, Daniel Michael Morello, Glenn Humberstone, Alistair Hatcher, Byron DeBello, Craig Schill, Edwin Van Driel, Ruben Van Beel, Alexander Redhead. And I think that's all of them. And back to the front. And then, okay, so let's see. We have to do a drive-through for Bruno Heinrich. So that is... Bruno Heinrich is... just waiting for all of the cars to come onto the grid right about now. And then we'll be ready to start our race. I'm going to just bring back all of our cars, just dealing with that drive-through right at the very beginning for Bruno Heinrich. Taking a look at the very lead car, that is Igor Koz, of course. Let's take a look at all of our cars on that grid. And here we go. The lights are all up. Lights are off and away we go. Everyone's getting a really, really great start. Here goes Igor Koz. Philip Hammer starting to challenge Igor Koz right away off the very start of the race. No crazy spins, it's looking like. And here we go, heading into turn 1, 2 wide, 3 wide, a few cars going off. And oh, here we go. Igor Koz on the inside into turn 3, and so that's going to give him the advantage as he heads through towards turn 5, heading down this first straightaway, second straightaway really, but third. Anyway, so here we go, and wow, everyone is really behaving. We're going to pull up our timing tower because there's just so much happening. I really cannot keep track of what's going on. And too wide into the braking zone with Misha. Nope, that is Yuri Steinmetz and Danny Hugen. Oh, and there's chaos, absolute chaos in the back, and that was half expected in that heavy braking zone. And we're gonna take a look at exactly what happened when we can. This oh, and there goes Danny Hugendorn. There is a lot of chaos. Guess who's back? Back again. Bruno Heinrich is back. Absolutely. I'm just really gathering up what's happening right now. Okay, I'm gonna just take a quick look at the leader of this race. We have Igor Koz. My apologies, my deepest apologies for being really mixed up in all of that is happening. There's Igor Koz going off into the grass, and it looks like Philip Straffarelli has followed him, and that's given Philip Hammer the chance to take the lead into the race, heading towards Canada corner. And in the back, Ryan Winfeld making the move on Philip Straffarelli. Not far behind is Misha Berger battling out with Jury Steinmetz. Bruno Heinrich not far behind. And there is Lee Holmes also not far off. And oh, did someone have a spin? I heard some tires screeching. Oh my gosh. There is chaos in the back with a field this size. It is half expected, and it's definitely got my brain all mumbled and jumbled, but you know, I think we got our clocks going just right now. Oh, and there's Misha Berger followed by Yuri Steinmetz trying to make the pass around the outside on turn 1. Is Yuri Steinmetz able to make it happen? The short distance traveled by Misha Berger is being used to his advantage. Absolutely used to his advantage. So let's take a quickie look while we still can. Exactly what happened. I think we can take a look. Let's see. Here is heading into turn 5 braking zone. And is this where the chaos happened? I think it is. Oh, and that is a little bit of a miscue under braking, and there you go. It's just a giant traffic jam. And then if you look a little further, there is Danny Hugendorn going off. It looks like him and Ben Pedersen had a little bit of a tuffle, and there we go. That was the chaos of our lap 1. Or parts of it anyways. As much as we can show without losing all of the live action that we got here with Phil Hammer, Igor Koz, and just all of these cars battling it out on track right about now. We've got Edwin Van Driel, Alejandro Tosi, and there goes Edwin Van Driel. That is a very difficult corner to go around the outside, as you can see right there. And Edwin not having an easy time on that outside line. That going up that hill, it's really, really difficult. Here is Jason Lyons missing his front hood, so that this is definitely not a track that you want to be missing your front hood. With the high average speed, it's absolutely detrimental. So I'm expecting to see Jason Lyons start bleeding off some of those positions. And let's pull up our gains and losses, the biggest losers and the biggest winners of our first initial sprint race. That is going to be 15 minutes long, as you can see right above the timing tower, and you can see that time ticking down slowly, and it'll give you an idea of how much time left all these drivers have to either make the move or feel comfortable with the position they're currently sitting in. I'm going to take a look at Lee Holmes. He has an excellent opportunity to make a move on Thorsten Cypher into turn 1. Not able to get that overlap. He's going to have to tuck in behind and try again not long after, I'm sure. Here we have Young Choi, followed by Alistair Hatcher. They're both... Oh, and it looks like Young Choi has made the pass on Alistair Hatcher. Alistair Hatcher giving it up nice and easy and wanting to follow in behind. Here's Alejandro Tosi going too wide with Craig Schill up the inside of turn 1. Is Alejandro Tosi able to make it stick? Not quite. Is he going to make that dive up the inside? And there he goes. Alejandro Tosi, card number 51, trying to make up a few positions that he's clearly lost, and he is having a heck of a time with that, I gotta say. All these cars definitely don't want to give it up easy, and that, you know what, that's that fighting spirit that we all love to see, and makes a really great broadcast. Gives us lots to look at. Here, Alejandro Tosi round the outside into the heavy braking zone, but Craig Schill, shorter distance traveled, able to stay ahead, and that's opened up the door for Daniel Valk to make his way through. And so an earlier mistake has put Alejandro Tosi under fire for losing a lot of positions. Here's Alexander Wilfert not far behind, trying to take a spot away from Tosi as well. This is absolutely exciting racing in the very back. You don't have to see all the exciting racing at the very front. It can be everywhere and anywhere throughout the field. Every single position matters here. Don't think that it doesn't. And here you can see they're heading around that carousel. I'm going to have to say that was Craig Schill in the front of this pack. He had quite a wide line in and out of that corner. He is now going to be at risk for being passed, I'm sure, from Daniel Valk. Daniel Valk had an excellent exit. Oh, and it looks like Alejandro Tosi had an even better exit out of that kink. He's going to have an opportunity to go up the inside in the Canada corner. Is he going to make it work? No, he is not able to get there in time. Here is Bruno Heinrich serving his drive-through penalty, so I'm really curious to see. He has the pace to make all these positions back. He is one of our fastest drivers on the grid. Really curious to see how this is going to go after the penalty is served. Here's all the cars making their way down this start-finish line straight right about now. And Bruno is almost through the pits, and if anyone was curious, here we go, Alejandro Tosi getting aggressive on Craig Schill, making a pass, and here is Daniel Valk, who has also made his way through down that start-finish straight. What a pass, what drive from all of these guys here. Alexander Wilfert making the pass on Schill as well. Holy smokes, I gotta say. So Bruno Heinrich comes out in P24, and that is actually just a testament to how competitive our entire grid is. And Bruno Heinrich now following Ben Pedersen. Ben Pedersen, one of our very aggressive drivers, often very, very fair, but also very aggressive. And oh, there you go. There you go. Sometimes being aggressive doesn't always pay off. And there you go. There is Bruno Heinrich through, and he is now ready to start making up all those positions he lost. Here is too wide through the carousel, and that does not work very well, I gotta say. Benjamin Pape having to back out, but he wants on through, I'm sure, Lee Holmes to get up into that very top of the field. Just behind is Gregory Vranks. Gregory Vranks in P9, just outside of that reverse grid top 8. I would have to say, if I'm Gregory, I wouldn't want to make that pass. I would say, you know what, P8, you have that P8. I don't want to go in the P1 pole on the start of the feature. I'd rather sit a little further back and not have all that extra added stress. So, you know, Gregory, I wish you luck. I hope you, I hope you do well. I'm sure you will. You have performed very, very well in all of our races so far that I've seen. you just unfortunately have Emil Koopmans directly behind you, who's going to want to take your position from you. He's looking to go on the inside. Is he going to make that dive? No, he is not able to get up beside him in time. So he's going to have to wait. Of course, it's a little bit of that DRS train with Benjamin Pape leading, so it's going to be a difficult pass for Emil Koopmans, but he definitely wants it. Emil Koopman, definitely going for it. Great to see Emil Koopman up 10 positions total in just 9.5 minutes. What an excellent drive. And back where he definitely belongs after many, many weeks of real bad luck. He had a great race last week, great race so far this week, and I hope it continues. I'm going to go right to the leader of this race and take a quickie peek at how is it going for Philip the Hammer. He started in P2, of course, as you saw. Igor Koz qualifying ahead of the Hammer, but you know what? It's time to drop that hammer, and here it is. It's hammer time. Igor Koz is getting dropped behind. And you know what? Philip Hammer is definitely one of those guys who performs under pressure. And here it is right now. The faster you are, the faster he will go. It's something about it. It's magical. Here is Ryan Winfeld in third position, up 3 total. Misha Berger exactly where he started, directly behind. These two guys know each other very well, racing together in the Porsche Cup for almost a year now, actually. Yuri Steinmetz exactly where he started. He was down a few spots, battled it back up into 5th, and there he is in 5th. Thorsten Seifert up 4 positions total in the reverse grid top 8. So this is going to help his season championship points if he can hold on to this car. Luckily, he's on a nice little island here with a gap ahead, a gap behind, but don't look too far. Of course, you got Lee Holmes, who's going to be able to take that position from him if Thorsten's not careful. And actually, if you look just a little further back, there's a lot of hungry wolves of drivers. Oh, and you can see them right there. Thorsten Seifert, better watch out. Better not pout. So, there. And here is Gordon Ramsay in 12th position. Glenn Humberstone quite a bit farther behind, followed by Daniel Valk, Alejandro Tosi. Alejandro Tosi wanting to get a few more positions back. He's down 6 positions now. Earlier he was down 10. So he's gaining some of that ground back, but not all of it. I don't think he's going to get quite all of that back. Here's Bruno Heinrich. Earlier we saw him in 24, now all the way up into 19th. And that is just the raw pace that we were mentioning earlier about Bruno Heinrich. He has the pace. It was just a I guess rather severe mistake that Bruno had made in. Here he goes up the inside on Alistair Hatcher, and just a nice easy pass for Bruno to take that shorter distance traveled. And it was just a mistake that he made at Hockenheim Ring in the braking zone into the hairpin. And it was just it incurred a penalty which came along with the drive-through, and so that's what's placed Bruno here. But he is definitely making the best of it and gaining back all of those spots that he lost. I'm going to take a quickie look a little further back. Where is Craig Schill? Craig Schill is here, just barely making it into the race. Here's Bjorn Ritter, exactly where he started. Being far back, this far back, I gotta say, from the leaders of the race. Oh, and something happened to Lee Holmes. No, Lee Holmes, you were in the great spot of the reverse grid. Let's take a look at what happened. Can I find that replay? Here is the replay. Here is... Oh! And there it is. Oh, Lee Holmes locking up, having to lock his tires to save his car, and that just allowed the absolute train of cars ready to pounce, able to pass. A little further up here, we got Gregory Vranks. He is now in that reverse grid top 8 and making the pass, taking these spots with authority up into 7th, taking it off of Benjamin Pape. Emil Koopmans is now in that reverse grid top 8, so Benjamin is out. So this is going to get really exciting. This is the absolute last lap of racing before the end of our sprint race. So here we go. Let's see. These guys are going to battle it out. That top 8, it means absolutely everything. Oh, little bit of a bump, I think, from Emil Koopmans, but a little further back, I want to take a look. Oh, it looks like Young Choi is going down the list. Oh, he is off the track. I'm not sure how that happened, but well, actually, let's just take a quick look while we still can. How did Young Choi go off the track? Just a little bit of a bump and just unable to keep controlling that car, and it's just a very, very unfortunate moment. I want to follow along with the battle that's absolutely heating up for this reverse grid top 8. Here is Emil Koopmans has got himself into it. Benjamin Pape is out. Lee Holmes is out, who previously was in it around the carousel. So this battle between Benjamin and Lee Holmes is definitely for position, 4 points, but is not going to help them get closer to Emil and into that reverse grid top 8. And while we're just talking about that, here is Philip the Hammer. Here is Philip the Hammer coming around that final turn for the very last time in that sprint race. And congratulations, Philip the Hammer, for winning the sprint race off of Igor Kovs, who showed excellent pace in qualifying and just could not hold it together for that total. Oh, and here it looks like Igor Kovs doesn't want to chance that reverse grid top 8. He's willing to give up some points. Yeah, you know, that's smart and silly all in the same time, because you definitely are giving up a lot of season championship points when you do that, if anyone was curious. But, you know what? Do as you will. Here is Alejandro Tosi, who's gotten himself back up into 14th position. Here is Bruno Heinrich. Oh, and making a pass on, I'm not sure who that was, but okay. And here is all of the drivers, looks like coming on in. Here's Young Choi coming across that start-finish line for the final time. We'll go through the list to see exactly who finished where, and you can also see the bigger winners, the bigger losers from the plus minus and the gains and the losses. And there you go. It looks like Jason Lyons, who was missing his hood, wasn't able to hold it together, and he's down in the P30. I'm surprised. And Danny Hugendorn, back to having bad luck. He is all the way down in 31st. You know, this is a very easy track to pass because of that massive, massive draft. However, it's not very wide, and so you can't push 3 wide. You really have to pick off every single car one by one, which takes time. And so going from 31st all the way up into the top 10, it's a really difficult challenge for this track. It's very easy to pass, but you can't pass a lot in a short amount of time. Not like Hockenheim or other tracks where you really can just you can pick off 4 or 5 cars all in one turn if you really get lucky. So here's Gurkan Demir coming across in P28. I think he is the very last car to come across. And yep, just like that. Here you go. Here are our results and everyone from front to back who finished where. Philip the Hammer, congratulations once again for the win in that sprint race. And Igor Kovs not able to hold on to that pace and stuff it to the hammer. Ryan Winfield come across in 2nd position. Misha Berger in 3rd. Igor Kovs in 4th. Willing to give up a few spots and a few points to see if it can help him in that feature race, who Igor, I gotta be honest, has not had good luck in the reverse grid races. So I'm really curious to see if his strategy works out for him. Thorsten Seifert, of course, in 5th position here. Yuri Steinmetz was in 5th. I think he had a little bit of a loose rear end, and that dropped him down into 6th. It's going to help him, though, in that sprint race. Gregory Vranks into 7th. He'll be at the very front row in our feature. Emil Koopmans on the pole position starting spot for our 30-minute feature. Benjamin Pape out of that reverse grid top 8. Lee Holmes out of it. And then we got Frank Smits, Gordon Ramsay, Daniel Valk, Alejandro Tosi back up in the 14th after losing a whole bunch of spots. Ben Pedersen, Bruno Heinrich in 16th there. Glenn Humberstone, Craig Schill. And we got Alexander Redhead, Bjorn Ritter, Stefan Heineken, Alistair Hatcher, Young Choi, Alexander Wilfert, Byron DeBello, and we're approaching the drivers who were in some sort of incident, off track, crash, or had to slow down for what was in front of them and made the best of it to get to where they're at here. And so we got Byron DeBello, Mark De Bruin, Edwin Van Driel, Gurkan Demir, as we saw come across that line, Michael Murillo, Jason Lyons, missing his hood, ended up, I guess, not finishing, Danny Hugendorn, Mark Oliver, Philip Straffarelli, who's had real bad luck, I gotta say, for many, many races, and then Ruben Van Buell in last place for starting this feature race. So here we go. We are going to pull up we are now going to pull up our timing tower. And in the right, you can see the start, you can see everyone on that track map, the position that they are at. And that is going to help you as we watch this race to see how far ahead or behind or whichever each of these drivers are. You'll be able to look at the timing tower, see which position your favorite driver is in, and look on that track map to see where they are in comparison to everyone else. So that's just one of the cool features we like to put up. For this quick little moment in this race start, we're going to put this timing tower to the side so we can see as much of this race as we want, as we really want to see. Every car is on the grid. It looks like the gridding is now finished. You can see Barney up in that timing tower, ready to wave that flag. And here we go. The lights are turning on, and when the lights are off, away we go. And here is that race start. It looks like Emil Koopman is getting an absolute legendary start up the inside. Here we go towards turn one. Yuri Steinmetz, an excellent start. He's going to go around the outside and take it to Emil Koopman's. And it looks like, do we have a spinner? Nope. A little bit of chaos off that race start, but not too much. Danny Hugendorn not having the best luck of it there, of course. But you know what? Everyone mostly behaving and now coming into a single file, and a few passes are going to still be happening right about here. Let's bring up that timing tower to see how has the field shaken up so far as we head into turn 5 braking zone. And you can see the cars. Oh, and there's Thorsten Seifert having to go wide. And we have 3 to 4 cars wide by 3 by 3 as we head up this hill through under that Corvette bridge. Bruno Heinrich being super, super aggressive, as you can see, and making a pass, many passes. Oh, and someone's going out wide. We're going to have to take a look later and see exactly how that happened. Looks like Alistair Hatcher is the one there that had that happen. Oh, and here's the over-under. And there goes Igor Koz spinning, not having that, and there goes that Padlet, not having a great time with the reverse grid, getting really aggressive and just not having good luck with that aggression. Really burning those tires early, and now he's all the way down into 20 seconds. So let's see how this goes for Igor Koz as he tries to regain all of these spots. Back up to the very lead of the race, of course, Yuri Steinmetz back where he's definitely most comfortable, but hasn't been all season, and he is ahead of Emil Koopmans. A little further back, we see Frank Smits. Oh! There is Frank Smits and Bruno Heinrich going real aggressive on each other, and now Frank Smits is going to have to wait until all of those cars pass by, and that is a long wait, I gotta say. But Bruno Heinrich luckily didn't lose too much time off that, and I don't think he has much of a damaged car either. Let's take a quick look. Yep, no, his car looks fine, so... So there is lap number 1 complete. All of the chaos, the happiness, the happiness, the tears of joy, and there is Ryan Winfeld going up the inside on Gregory Franks, taking that spot. Is Gregory going to have something to return? No, no favors returned. Ryan Winfeld is free to go. Here we go. Most of the drivers are going to... Oh! And there's Bjorn Ritter up the inside. It looks like... honestly, it looks like Glenn Humberstone turned in on him just a little bit, not expecting him to be there. And off they go, off the track. Oh, and here we go. Oh! This is going to be interesting. There we go. And oh, wow. So that is Daniel Valk having a little bit of a spin, and all the drivers very quickly having their wits about them, able to avoid, and that is great driving from all of our drivers on the field. Here is Ryan Winfeld. We're going to look a little further back. Oh no! A little bit of bumping and bruising between Alexander Red. I actually want to take a look at exactly what happened there. So it looks like here is Alexander Redhead and Ben Pedersen. So Ben makes a pass, loses a little bit of control, comes back and bumps into Redhead, and that's also thrown Gurk and Demir off, and just a whole bunch of hard racing. It's just been an interesting situation for many of the drivers there. So I'm going to take a quickie look at Gordon Ramsay with Ben Pedersen. So these two drivers, I'm really curious to see how this goes as they head on to that final corner and down that start-finish straight. And also, you can see Young Choi dropping down oh, there, Young Choi had a little bit of a spin. So, okay, let's go back to Gordon Ramsay and Ben Pedersen as they head down this start-finish straight. Is Ben Pedersen going to be able to get up alongside in time? And I don't think so. Nope, not able to get there. So Gordon Ramsay is going to live to fight another few corners. Ben definitely wants that spot. He's up 4 already. He wants to be up 5. Gordon Ramsay is up 2. He is definitely not going to give it up easy. So here we go, heading down the second straightaway, one of many. This one is called this is turn 4. Actually, there's no name to this straightaway, but this braking zone into turn 5 is called the Moraine Sweep. Imagine that, eh? Totally makes sense. You can see that elevation change as you're going from 250 kilometers an hour down to second gear. Very, very slow corner. Quite difficult. And yeah, definitely the Marine Sweep. Here is Alexander Redhead and Alexander Wilford going too wide in a place not normally known for too wide. Alexander Wilford, shorter distance traveled. Oh, and Redhead is through, and Jason Lyons, is he going to try and make the move? Danny Hugendorn just behind. Oh, a little bit of a bump, and that is unfortunate for Wilford. I feel bad for him on that one, and Danny Hugendorn is luckily able to keep it on track. And here is our newcomer, Stefan Heineken. Michael Murillo not far behind. Many of the drivers all very, very close to each other. Alexander Redhead leading this group, trying to find a way to break away from Jason Lyons, Danny Hugendorn, and Stefan Heineken. And if all these cars battle enough, that's definitely what's going to be happening. And Jason Lyons is going to give up that inside line as Danny Hugendorn. Oh, and there goes Danny Hugendorn off of the track, and Alexander Redhead off as well on exit. Alexander Redhead got real excited on that throttle and just spun the car. You know, that's actually one easy way to pass on this track, is let everyone else around you make a mistake. It looks like Bruno Heinrich has gone off the track. Let's take a quick look at how did that one happen. Wait, let's go backwards a little bit. How did that one happen? It looks like a self-inflicted injury. He is making such a great run up the field. He is right there. Oh! And then chooses to jump to the pits, and I don't know why. He had such a great opportunity to really make up a lot more spots, and I'm really curious to hear the story on that one later. I really am. Here's Stefan Heineken making a pass on Jason Lyons. Jason Lyons now a little bit behind. He's being chased by Michael Murillo and Gurk and Demir. Gurk and Demir had a real terrible sprint race, so he's here to make up for it in this 30-minute feature. 7.5 minutes, and is he going to go up the inside in the braking zone on Michael Murillo? And I don't think he is able to quite make it. And there's Michael Murillo making quite a big mistake on braking and allowing Gurkan Demir to break on through. So there you go. That's a great way to make your passes. Let someone else make a mistake, and sometimes, unfortunately, it takes someone else out just slightly. Luckily, these drivers are able to carry on still with minimal damage to their cars, so that is a very, very happy ending, I gotta say, with a really sad start to it. Here's Frank Smits. He's down 7 spots after that incident we saw earlier, so he is clearly gaining it back. I want to head right back up to the very front of the field, though, for this quickie moment. We got Gregory Vanks being followed by Emil Koopmans into Canada corner, and Thorsten Seifert, car number 6. Thorsten Seifert's down 2 spots total. Where is Philip the Hammer? Where is Philip the Hammer? I haven't even... Where did Hammer go? I am so confused. Philip Hammer went off track way back. He has not had a good race, it's looking like. He went off track somewhere, and I want to take a look. Where did that happen? So here was Philip the Hammer. He was actually at the very front, trying to claw back some of his spots that he'd lost because of that reverse grid top 8. Oh, and there's Philip the Hammer into the wall, and that, that is going to be a painful hit for the Hammer. So this is going to definitely be one of those drop races. So he's now just in it for the fun. Hopefully, anyways. He's always got a smile on his face, that guy. Always happy. So, you know what? I'm sure he's still here for the fun. Here you go. So now with Philip the Hammer out, it's anybody's guess on who's going to be the winner of this race. Yuri Steinmetz with the pace up in front. He's definitely the one that we've got on our timing tower for the potential win, but he's got 20 minutes of race left, which is absolutely a lot of time to go. And he's got Ryan Winfeld, Misha Berger, Emil Koopmans, Thorsten Seifert, basically a whole field of drivers all the way to P9, P10, who are very capable of taking it away from him if any mistakes do happen. So really curious to see how the rest of this race goes. And of course, like I said, a lot of time left. And with Philip the Hammer out, it's definitely going to be a very interesting mix. Oh, and there's Thorsten Seifert going a little bit wild through the kink. He's going to have to give up that position to Gregory Vanks. And there you go, tucking in behind into Canada corner. And Gregory Vanks is now up into 5th. He's lost 3 positions total, which is expected with the reverse grid top 8 starting in way at the very front, but gaining some of those back. And so Thorsten Seifert's now down 2 positions. Let's take a quickie look at Frank Smits, who's now following Alexander Wilfert. He is less than 3/10 behind, and actually heading into Canada corner. Here is not too far back Daniel Valk, who had a little bit of a spin and so on, trying to get back some of his spots as well, following Mark de Bruin. So Frank Smits heading down this start-finish straight, just heading up that hill right there, and he is going to be able to get up alongside, I'm sure of it, on Alexander Wilfert. Alexander Wilfert wants him to go around the outside, so Frank Smits, he wants more inside than Alexander Wilfert, and there's the full send up the inside. Wow, what a pass, what a pass. And there is Daniel Valk making a pass on Mark de Bruin. Nice and easy pass for Daniel, and away he goes. There's Alexander Wilfert. Is he going to have a response to Frank Smits? He's definitely in that range where he can think about it. Is Frank Smits going to give up the inside as we head towards turn 5? And no, Frank Smits wants that inside, shorter distance traveled. Is Wilfert going to be able to make it happen? A little bit of a misjudged braking, and Alexander Wilfert not able to stay ahead. And so that is going to allow, I'm sure, Frank Smits to carry on, gaining back some of the spots that he's lost. I want to take a quickie look here at Benjamin Pape and Alejandro Tosi. Alejandro Tosi closer than he's ever been to Benjamin Pape. So Alejandro up 6 positions after not the greatest sprint race. He is trying to make up all of those spots. And is he close enough to make a dive up the inside in the canted corner? And no, he is not quite there. Oh, and here is Igor Koz making a move on Gordon Ramsay. So Igor Koz, after that off, he's now all the way back up in 10th position, so he's only lost 5 spots. So good on Igor for cleanly being able to get all the way back up into P10. His latest victim, of course, was Gordon Ramsay, but I'm sure Gordon Ramsay is actually thinking, hey, this guy's fast. Why don't I just follow this guy's draft through all the cars ahead of me? That's definitely what I'd be thinking. You know, if someone's really, really fast, you know it, you're going to hold them up and lose time. This guy who's really, really fast can actually open up the can of worms and open up the doorways for you. So follow him on through. You'll see Igor Koz is definitely going to make a move on the inside or outside or whichever of Lee Holmes as he gets closer and closer and closer. And if Gordon Ramsay can actually place his car directly behind Igor Koz, he'll be able to follow him through and continue following him through all the way up the order. So let's see if Gordon Ramsay's able to follow through on such a strategy or not. Daniel Valk is out. Oh, let's take a quick look exactly what happened there. I see Danny Hugendorn. Oh, let's go a little bit further back to see how did that one happen. Oh, and there's Wilford who spun. Oh, and that is the cause of the chaos. So Wilford, how did Wilford spin? Here is Wilford in the carousel. I think he lost a little bit of control. Oh, and there it is. And when he hit the wall, oh, and just did not hold his brakes as he should and caused a lot of chaos for a lot of our drivers, unfortunately. Here is, okay, so Frank Smits is on an island, definitely on an island. He's up 4 spots. And so that giant kerfuffle with Wilford in the back has spread apart that back portion of the field quite a bit. So we're going to take a quick look and check in with the leader of our race, Yuri Steinmetz. Previously, we saw him with a 2.6 second lead on Ryan Winfeld, which is now down to 1.15 seconds. So I gotta say, he's at risk of losing this lead. All of these cars coming into the pits, I believe they are blue flag cars, so they're going to have to allow Yuri Steinmetz and all these guys on through. And Byron is going to have to let him through. There we go. Blue flag lapped car. You know, there's a race going on and you just ain't in it. Sorry, buddy. There you go. Thank you, Byron. Cheers, bud. Cheers, mate. And so that actually has brought Ryan Winfeld just a tiny bit closer. He's definitely in that drafting range. And guess who's also in that drafting range? Misha Berger. Look a little further back. Here's Emil Koopmans, Gregory Vranks, and Thorsten Seifert. Definitely all within striking range of each other. So this is the battle for 5th position. Absolutely wild, I gotta say. A little further back, you got Benjamin Pape and Alejandro Tosi, who are definitely duking it out. And then you got Igor Koz, who's now made the pass on Lee Holmes. Oh, and Lee Holmes trying to gain that back. And there is Gordon Ramsay trying to follow Igor Koz through, but not quite able to make it happen. Oh, and Gordon Ramsay, is he still trying to make it through on Lee Holmes? Oh, Lee Holmes is going to have that defensive inside line, so I just don't think it's going to work. Not quite. So Igor Koz is now into 9th position, only 4 positions lost total. And if Lee Holmes plays his cards right, he may be able to sneak into that draft or not. But I know Gordon Ramsay's definitely going to find his way through as best he can. So here we go through the kink. Lee Holmes has that draft. But Gordon Ramsay with an even better exit out of the kink. Is he gonna go for the move? No, he is not. I gotta say, into Canada corner is not a great passing opportunity. Oh, and Lee Holmes getting wild as he tries to put the power down, exiting that corner and just able to still stay ahead. And that is excellent car control from Lee Holmes, who's trying to battle it out for P1 in amateur division right now versus Misha Berger and Ryan Winfield. Oh no, and there's Gordon Ramsay going off into the wall. He's lost his front hood, and that is gonna hurt his race. I gotta say, that is painful. Oh, my heart goes out to him. Meanwhile, there's Ben Pedersen sneaking on through up into P11. He's 4 positions gained. So there is Lee Holmes, who is still on the rear bumper of Igor Koz. Not sure how long he'll be able to hold on to that draft, get this corner wrong, and it'll definitely be gone. Say sayonara. And that's exactly, I think, what's happened. Oh, no, look at that. Lee Holmes able to make a better corner exit than Igor. So he's going to hold on to it for a little bit longer. Looking a little bit further up the field, of course, Alejandro Tosi fighting with Benjamin Pape out on the track here for P7. And if these guys keep battling it out up ahead of them, Thorsten, Gregory, and Emil, it's going to become a 5-way car battle for 4th position. This is absolutely wild. And if you look a little bit further up, you got Yuri Steinmetz with these 2 cars directly behind him who have now caught up. So we have a lot of battles heating up on track with 11 minutes of racing to go. And so here we go as they head around that carousel. Emil Koopman's trying to find a better exit than all of these drivers to stay ahead, and is he able to make it happen? And this kink is super important, as you can see. With that long straight, you really have to get that kink perfect or else you will be losing your position. And it looks like all the drivers made it through just right, so that's a happy ending. Oh, and here's, where did Igor go? Oh, and there goes Igor. Igor has crashed. I'm gonna have to guess that's self-inflicted injury. Let's take a quickie look. How did Igor crash? Oh, and there you go, through the kink and into the wall. Oh, fortunately no one else collected, and yeah, definitely needs a tow. Oh, very good timing. Thank you, Igor. But yeah, that's so there's 2 drivers claimed by a few of the walls, and right in that area there's Philip the Hammer gone, Igor Koz gone, right in that section of track. So you never count out, you know, there's no, it's not like Belle Isle where you got the walls directly beside you all the way across the track, but there are still walls and they still do hurt. So Gordon Ramsay without his hood, here you go against Gurkan Demir. Gurkan Demir with a car that is not damaged. He's definitely got the advantage. So Gurkan Demir around the outside. It's not going to be too hard to pass, I'm sure. Down this start-finish, or this straightaway, not the start-finish straight. The turn 4 to turn 5 straight. Gonna be really easy. Gordon Ramsay has a lot less straight line speed, so you know, Gurkan Demir, it should be easy picking. It's only a matter of time, but be careful, beware. You got Frank Smits in behind, who's gonna make this real interesting really quick, I'm sure of it. Frank Smits is down only 3 spots total now as we head under the Corvette Bridge and heading towards Harry Downs. Is actually the little straightaway right here. This is called Harry Downs. Turn 7 into turn 8. This is downhill, heavy braking zone. You can use the compression of the car to your advantage. Brake harder and later than you would actually imagine you could. And heading into the carousel, looks like Gurkan Demir is not actually able to solve the puzzle of Gordon Ramsay without a hood. But he's going to have one more run at it right about now as he heads out of the carousel, across that kink, and heading towards Canada corner. Gurkan Demir almost 5/10 behind. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it happen, but Frank Smits, oh, he is getting closer and closer than ever to Gurkan Demir, making the dive up the inside, almost able to get up alongside, but not quite. Exiting Canada corner much better, and Gurkan Demir having a 2-wide battle. Oh, and these guys are giving each other only an inch of space, and there's Frank Smits. He is almost through Gurkan Demir as we head. Oh, there we go. This is going to be a drag race down that start finish line. And I think that Frank Smits has a little bit of draft off Gordon Ramsay. So that's definitely going to help him. Gurkin Demir got a little bit of a better exit. So, oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to hit this braking zone right here. Gurkin Demir with a shorter distance traveled, but Frank Smits getting an excellent exit. These two cars are still side by side as they head towards turn 3, hitting the brakes, slamming that car forward, and out of turn 3 we go. They are still side by side, neither driver wanting to give it up easy. So these guys are going to continue on too wide all the way to turn 5. This is going to be a shoe-in for me for Frank Smits with that shorter distance traveled. The inside line is a huge advantage here. Oh, but Gurkin Demir's making it work, and this is absolutely intense. Gurkin Demir still there, and there we go. Finally, one of these drivers finally got the advantage on the other under the Corvette bridge, and here we go. Frank Smits is ahead. Wow. Absolutely wow. What great drivers. Oh, and Gurkin Demir. Oh, I feel bad for you, buddy. You're doing so well. And Ben Pedersen in the background looks like he went off as well, so. I want to take a quick look at, it looks like Misha Berger went off the track. I want to take a quick look. How did that one happen? It looks like he actually was ahead of Ryan Winfield at one point. Oh, there it is. And that's how he went off. And here, how did Misha Berger pass him? Here we go into turn 1. This is for P2 of this race. Misha Berger trying to go around the outside, not able to make it happen. I want to take a quick look after. Yeah, let's take a quick look. How did Misha Berger make it work the first time? Here it is. Oh, and into is this Canada corner? Nope, this is turn 5 braking zone. So he made it work round the outside. Ryan Winfield had to give it up. He was just beat under braking just like that. So here we go. Are we going to see an absolute repeat? Ryan Winfield giving up the inside. He doesn't want that out inside line. He's going to give it up. Misha Berger not able to get alongside, and so Ryan Winfield stays ahead. A little further back. Oh, and here, a little further back, you can see Emil Koopmans, Thorsten Seifert, Benjamin Pape, Gregory Vranks all battling it out. And here we go around turn 7, heading down the Hurry Downs. I like that. Emil Koopmans is ahead. He is in P4. And these guys really are having the fight of their lives, sweating it out, I'm sure, in their race suits, trying to get every position because every spot matters, all the way to the very end, baby. Here we go out of the carousel, going through that kink. Let's see who gets that kink just right. It looks like Emil Koopmans didn't get that right, so he's now under fire from Gregory Vranks. Gregory Vranks is going to have an opportunity to get some overlap. Emil Koopmans wants the inside in the Canada corner, and it looks like Emil Koopmans is actually able to stay ahead, and that is what I was saying earlier. It's not the greatest corner to make a pass, and here we go. Oh, Emil Koopmans not getting a good exit, and back to what I was saying earlier. Force someone to make a mistake, and it's an excellent way to make a pass. Emil Koopmans, though, back up ahead. I'm not sure what happened there. And Thorsten Seifert now looking to take advantage of all of this shuffling that's happening ahead of him. And don't look too far back, because you got Alejandro Tosi, who's also within this mix. As we head towards turn 1, we have a 2x2. Emil Koopmans in the lead, followed by Thorsten Seifert, Gregory Vranks. Oh, and are we going to have a 3-wide situation there? Is Benjamin Pape locking up? Getting real aggressive, trying to make every single pass that he can, and actually losing it and losing out big as he hits the sand. So that's going to be one car out of the mix. We still have 4 cars left as we head down the turn 4 straight. Let's call it the turn 4 straight because this is considered turn 4 right here as we go towards the Moraine sweep. Emil Koopmans is still in the lead of this pack. Thorsten Seifert not able to solve that puzzle, but he's still in 5th position. We got Gregory Vranks, Alejandro Tosi, and so with 4 cars, it's going to be a little bit of an easier battle to manage, I'm sure. Lee Holmes is up into 8th position. Benjamin Pape all the way down into 9th. So that's really, really interesting. Yuri Steinmetz able to keep on that consistency, start driving away again, and take advantage of a little bit of mistakes that some of the guys behind him have had. So as he comes out of the carousel, he's going to have to get a perfect kink. He's going to have to get another 1.5 laps of perfect corners, and he'll be able to take this win. But, you know, don't count out any of these drivers just yet. You can see in the very background, they are definitely able to catch Yuri if he makes one slight mistake. Ryan Winfeld and Misha Berger, these two battling out once again. They are definitely duking out for position. I'm really curious to see how that goes. With one more lap to go, yeah, I see one more lap, so we're gonna have 14 laps total in this feature race. Here is Thorsten Seifert. Once again, this is the closest battle on track. Before we see what happens there, here is Gurkan Demir following Michael Morello through the kink. Just behind him is Bjorn Ritter. Is Gurkan Demir going to be able to get up alongside into Canada Court? Nope, I don't think so. So we're going to go right to Emil Koopmans as they head down that start-finish line straight. Barney waving that white flag saying, one more lap, boys. It's now or never. And so Emil Koopmans in 4th position, trying to hold off Thorsten Seifert, Gregory Vranks, Alejandro Tosi. One tiny mistake, and he is up to lose a lot of positions, which he definitely does not want to do. This is one of Emil Koopmans' best races all season long. On the very final lap, here we go. Heading towards turn 5. There, the car's braking. You can see the nose compression, and there it is as we head up the hill towards Corvette Bridge. And these drivers, absolutely flawless corners. You can see them hitting every apex, every braking zone, and no mistakes. These guys are laser focused, and the gaps are absolutely not changing whatsoever. You can see on our timing tower, the deltas are just absolutely matched. They are having perfect laps, every one of them. So with it, given that, I'm not sure any of them are going to be able to make a pass. Oh, and there's Gurkan Demir has crashed. Before we see the end of the race, I want to see how did that one happen. Here's Gurkan Demir trying to make that pass on Michael Murillo. Bjorn Ritter just behind it. It looks like, oh, Gurkan Demir making a mistake under braking. So let's go back to, real quick, the battle that really counts. Here is after the kink. Here is Gregory Vranks trying to make a pass on Thorsten Seifert into Canada Corner. Is he able to get up alongside? Not quite. And Thorsten Seifert able to hold on his position, and that's going to give Emil Koopmans all the breathing room he needs as he goes through Bill Mitchell Bend. And Thorsten Seifert under fire, and that has brought Alejandro Tosi through. Gregory Vranks is now down a few spots from where he just was, and round that final corner, here we go. And this is Yuri Steinmetz up ahead. Congratulations, Yuri Steinmetz, for winning this feature race for 30 minutes long. Ryan Winfeld and Misha Berger rounding out those final podium spots. Congratulations, guys. Here is Emil Koopmans, Thorsten Seifert, Alejandro Tosi, and Gregory Vranks in P7. Congratulations. Lee Holmes in P8. Benjamin Pape in P9. Here's Stefan Heineken, sorry, coming across in his first ever debut race in P10. Frank Smits. Here is Gordon Ramsay without his hood, still going. Here's Michael Murillo. Oh, is Bjorn Ritter able to make it happen? Not quite. Gurkan Demir, after going off, he's in P15. Here's Philip the Hammer having a real bad time of it, but setting, I think, the fastest laps of the race. Actually, let's take a quickie look. Who has best time? Yep, there it is. You know what? He at least give him that. He had the fastest time. So he had to get something after having such a bad time on that track today, going into that wall and eating a lot of concrete. So here you go with Mark Oliver, car 923, coming across that start finish line, up 14 spots. That's a hell of a drive, I gotta say, to gain that many spots in such a big field. Here's Alexander Redhead, followed by Jason Lyons. And one car back is Alistair Hatcher. This is Alistair Hatcher coming around that final turn. And on to that start finish straight. And so this is our final car out on track. And this will be the end of our race officially. So let's pull up exactly who was where. Just take a quickie look at our final results. Yuri Steinmetz, congratulations once again for the win of that race. Excellent drive. Excellent drive from Yuri Steinmetz. Ryan Winfeld in second position, fighting off the Burgermeister in P3. Emil Koopmans, I think this is the best drive Emil Koopmans has had all season long. So congratulations, Emil Koopmans. Good job, buddy. Thorsten Seifert having an excellent drive himself. This is going to help him and his opportunity in our season championships. Thorsten Seifert is currently in P4 for the pro standings and not very many points behind that top 3 in pro. So Thorsten Seifert really going to be moving up in our standings after this race. I can't wait to see the final results of where everyone's standing once that happens. You got Alejandro Tosi, who hasn't had a lot of luck going forward, hasn't had a lot of luck in our races, but has definitely turned around in this race. Gregory Franks, Lee Holmes, who's battling it out for the Amateur Division Championship with Ryan Winfeld and Misha Berger. There's Benjamin Pape, Stefan Heineken, Frank Smits, Gordon Ramsay, Michael Morello, Bjorn Ritter, Gherkin Demir. Then we have Philip the Hammer way back, Glenn Humberstone, Mark Oliver, who I believe was up many spots, right? So, wait, no. Come on back up. There you go. Then we got Alexander Redhead, Jason Lyons, Alistair Hatcher, Young Choi, Daniel Valk, Byron DeBello, Mark DeBruin, Edwin Vandriel, Philip Straffarelli, Ben Pedersen, Craig Schill, Igor Koz, after hitting the wall, ends up in P30. Alexander Wilford, also hitting the wall, ends up in P31. Danny Hugendorn, Bruno Heinrich, and Ruben Van Buell. I'm going to bring it right back up to the very, very top. And I have here in the broadcast booth, in the interview booth, Ryan Winfeld. Let me make sure all of our sound is on. Ryan Winfeld, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How's it going?
Sweaty, but that was a wild race. That was pretty fun. Misha just on my tail the entire race, having to run, having to, push harder than I would have liked to. And I am glad the track temperatures were a little cooler. Otherwise, I think it would have been game over.
Yeah, we actually saw you lost that position to Misha and then gained it back. What was in your mind?
Even.
Yeah, what was in your mind? So I saw you had the inside line that first time round, lost the position. Were you going into that the second time round thinking, hey, I want the spot you had?
I was honestly just going to hang back a little bit and see if I could kind of bring the tires back under me, because I had been, like I said, pushing harder than I would have liked, and they were starting to get a little slippery, but Misha fortunately gift wrapped it to me. It looks like he made basically the same mistake in the same corner that I did, just coming a little too hot out of turn 3. I got sideways and gave up time. He pushed a little wide into the grass, and after that it was just, try and drive as smoothly and as accurately as possible and give up because I had been trying to push and see if I could get up to P1 and make something happen there. But after that little incident, I figured just take the spot and try and go for the points.
Definitely taking advantage of that reverse grid top eight, ending up in second. That's going to really help the championship run for the amateur division. I'm sure next season you'll be in that pro division, battling out for the front of the pro division at the pace that you've currently got. I know that you've struggled with this car early on with the tires, the suspension updates, all of that, and this most recent update that we've been thrown for all of us. What are your thoughts on this one? It seems that you've been really taking advantage of this, least the recent update.
Yeah, honestly, this last rev of the car, I think the little bug fix I haven't noticed too much, but the tire revision that came out the Magny Cours week, I think suits my driving style a lot more than the tire that we had at the beginning of the season. And I I've been fortunate because I've found pace, and a lot of people had the opposite. It looks like a lot of our pro drivers that were blazing fast at the beginning of the season, just for whatever reason, the new car doesn't agree with them, or the new tire, I should say, doesn't agree with them quite as well. So all of a sudden, I'm here in, second
And
place
they are
rather
there.
than, yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
remember
been
you
kind
were
of a wild change.
I remember you're definitely struggling out there to just break the top 10 in the sprint and the feature race, and you were qualifying P15, so it's definitely quite a turnaround season, and it's been nice to see that you've been able to find that pace back, and definitely sad to see some of the drivers dropping down the order from where we usually see them, but always happy to see a good story as well.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it just suits my driving style. You know, no secret to anybody, but I am fairly aggressive on the tires. I'm usually pretty aggressive on the throttle and the brakes and whatnot. And
You
the fact
don't
that,
say.
right, the fact that this latest tire can handle a little more abuse than the beginning of the season, I think has helped a lot. And I have honestly been working on just, you know, trying to drive well and not just drive fast. So try and drive more accurately, get more accurate braking and turning points and whatnot,
Definitely.
rather than just trying to send it every corner. And it seemed to work. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to catch Misha. For all the work I put in today, I think I gained a whole 2 points on him. But it's been fun regardless.
Definitely. I'm glad you're enjoying this season just as much as I am. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, especially any drivers on the grid?
Well, I'm gonna shout out Misha for sure. He kept me honest all race. You know, yeah, that's where I would shout out. Like I said, had me pushing harder than I would have liked, and like I said, kept me honest the whole race. So, looking forward to seeing how this unwinds. What do we have? 3 rounds left.
Yeah, this would be 9, so we have round 10, 11, and 12 left.
Yeah, we've got the Catalonia Sea Ring and the Nürburgring. So we'll see. I haven't put in much time at Catalonia before, so we'll see how that goes. But should be fun. Always happy
Definitely.
to end it on the Nürburgring too.
Yeah. And so, great race. Congratulations on your finish. And thanks for coming on to the interview booth. If there's anyone else out there who, you know what, good or bad race, the worse the race you had, the better the story you have to tell. Anyone and everyone's welcome to come in, and I love just having a chat. But yeah, once again, Ryan, congratulations on that great finish you had, and I'm really excited to see how the remainder of this season goes.
Great. Thanks again.
Hey, no problem.
All right.
And that now concludes the end of our Euro Global Division race for Porsche Cup Challenge here at Road America. And so now, here we go. This is the time that we wave goodbye and watch our very first lap with a little bit of awesome music. I'll see you next week, guys. Have a good night.
Baby, don't you know that when I'm smoking that loud, got my head in plumes and clouds, you're the one I think of. Baby, don't you know that it's gonna go down when I hit the bottom now, you're the one I think of.
Boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me?
Feels like I might be losing my grip. Oh yeah, I am. What you gonna say? What you gonna do when I lost control? We had lost, yeah, we lost control. Yeah, we lost control.
Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control.